Good evening, people. Good evening. We are here with three more delusional Arsenal fan tweets. The last one is just madness, as you would expect, as usual, from that side of our fan base. They just keep on giving. They don't stop. They just keep on giving us their mad delusional takes, and they're just relentless with this craziness. So without further ado, and by the way, this is quite an amusing thing to have on the screen straight away. It says, when the goyim keeps interrupting. This guy, he's called General, and he is in at number 3 today. And he is saying this, which is like very bizarre to me thing to say as apparently an Arsenal fan. It's got 160k views, by the way. How much does this guy have in terms of followers? God only knows. 828. It's a relief. It's a relief he's got that much, because you know what? If you've watched this show a few times, you'll have seen my absolute despair at the amount of bloody followers some of these people have who make all the crazy tweets that we're about to look into and that we always like looking into. But oftentimes you hover over their names and they've got like 100,000, 500,000 followers who are absorbing this nonsense, and that's why it's so frustrating. And it's good to point out this nonsense because it's spreading. These people spread. It's a disease. It's a cultish disease. But this guy has put, and this is in at number 3, the third mutant of the day, the bronze mutant, I think is the most accurate way. Bronze medalist is the General. Who's General? Yes, I'm going to watch Arsenal v Leverkusen over Chelsea v PSG and Madrid versus City. My love for this club knows no limits. No shit. It turns out if you're an Arsenal fan, it's kind of expected for you to watch the Arsenal Leverkusen game over Chelsea or Madrid or any other game. I'm kind of aghast that this is even a thought process of any kind that this person obviously has done. Do you reckon this guy historically has done this before? The Arsenal are playing, but say, I don't know, role play Barcelona on the same day. He's decided to watch that instead because he's such an Arsenal fan, right? This is the kind of plastic fan that we've got at the moment, and he will no doubt turn around and call other people plastic and fake fans on this app. So this is just kind of like the typical hypocritical Arsenal delusional fan. I haven't looked at his other takes. I mean, maybe he says things of sound mind. I don't know. Let's have a look. Let's have a quick look. We're going to Wembley. He says, okay, we've got to get past. We're in a quarter-final. So, I mean, yeah, we've got to get past Southampton. To be fair, the semi-finals are played at Wembley, so it does look like we're going to Wembley. So he's put up something comparing Saka with Yamal. That's, let's not, the less said about that, the better. That is a Recipsa Lakita situation. The evidence speaks for itself. That's the old Latin law phrase popularised by the late great author Hunter S. Thompson. Let's have a little look further down. Just deeping how fake Messi was. That's kind of weird. I don't know if he's taking the piss there. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't get why he's saying I'm going to watch Arsenal Leverkusen as if it's some sort of valiant thing to do if you're an Arsenal fan. Just because it's Leverkusen, isn't it? Is that what he's trying to say? Oh, we're playing some shit team. Is he getting grief for this? Let's have a look. We're real fucking fans, mate. What the fuck? Is this a piss take? Am I falling for some kind of piss take here? This is weird, isn't it? How does any fan of any club consider watching other games when their team's playing in a Champions League round of 16? Who's General? Yeah, who the fuck are you to say this stupid shit, man? Let's move on from this guy. I've got salmon in the oven, and it is smoking. It is smoking, and it is nearly ready, and I can't wait. I love a bit of salmon. So let's move on to tweet number 2. Number 2, 7 on the shirt, who's called me a few different names over the weeks. I don't really reply to his stuff anymore because he just gets quite upset. I mean, just look at that profile picture there. Kind of says it all, really. Kind of says it all, doesn't it? But he's got Bobby Pires and Henry, so, he's got 2,000 followers, 2.7k followers. And he said, the boring narrative is so disingenuous. What they mean is, I find Arsenal losing funny. Do that more. Well, first of all, the problem with that is we've only lost 3 times this season. So there's no real correlation between boring and us losing, is there? So that doesn't make any sense for a start. Second paragraph. And this is him still kind of pretending to be someone else. I'm much more entertained when Liverpool lose 1-0 than them winning 4-0. I hate them, so it's logical. They don't want us beating Spurs 4-1 twice. That's not entertaining. So none of this really makes that much sense. So going back to the boring narrative being disingenuous, no, it's not. So watch an Arsenal game and see how long it takes you to pick up your phone. Seriously, one of the most common comments I have seen from Arsenal fans this season is they're looking at their phone loads more this season than ever before. I would hark it back to last season as well. I was in this boat. Last season was when I started, for the first time in years, picking up my phone more and noticing I was picking up my phone more during Arsenal games. And kind of last season was really where this kind of this style of play kind of kicked in. I can smell that salmon. That salmon is coming soon. Pause. Yeah, so boring narrative is not disingenuous. It's just what people are literally seeing with their eyes. And this is just cope. People like this guy, they're just coping. They can't hack. They have to do anything to defend the manager and defend the system and defend the regime because they're cult members. They have to stick by no matter what, through thick and thin. It's like a marriage. To death do us part. They will defend this man, this regime, till the very, very end. And because people are calling it boring without, it's not unreasonable that they're saying these things. It's not unreasonable whatsoever because this is another way of putting it as well. When these people say that boring is disingenuous, I would turn it around. If I was going to bother replying to him or if I was talking to him in real life, I would say to him, okay, what are your top 5 entertaining Arsenal wins of the season? Now, I've done this a few times before and the answer is usually the same thing. So they'll go, the Spurs games, obviously, cool, no issue with that. The Leeds games, cool, no issue with that. And then they start to struggle, and I've seen this a few times. Then they'll always go to, the second half against Villa. So you've given me 4.5 games there because you've given me 4 games and a second half against Aston Villa. And by the way, I agree with that answer. It's just what happens next, which is the problem. So you go, okay, cool. What are the contenders for that top 5? After those 5, which is 5 of 30 games that we played, 29 games. What other games come close? What other games were potential contenders for that? There is fuck all. There is absolutely fuck all. There's just a load of close, drab, boring, cowardly, slow, bit part performances, strong defensive performances, don't get me wrong, but bit part attacking performances. Christ only knows how we've got as many goals as we've got. Although what is worth bearing in mind as well is that we have got about a quarter of those. We've definitely got a fifth of those goals against 2 teams, which I just mentioned, Leeds and Spurs. So a fifth of our goals are scored against Leeds and Spurs. And I believe if you add in, there's another team, I forget, I should have prepared this better, but if you add in, I cannot remember who it is, but there's a third team, and if you add in the goals against them, then it's a quarter of our goals. Forget that because I can't think of the third team. I should have prepared it better. My brain's gone. I've got a little brain freeze. But still, a fifth of our goals were scored against 2 teams. So the idea being to throw around this idea that, oh, look at us, we scored so many goals. The stats are a bit skewed. It's like was it last season or the season before? We scored a shitload of goals, but about just under a third of our goals last season were scored against 3 teams, Sheffield United, Burnley and West Ham. But everyone wanted to say that we're an absolutely amazing free scoring team, which obviously goes against everything we can actually see with our own eyes. Which brings us on to numero uno, the winner of the day. And we've seen this kind of tweet before, but let's just bring it up as well this occasion, as we might. Richie, at Richie Gooner, he says, simply, no corruption. No oil money, no sport washing, hated by everyone, 29 combined Champions League FA Cups with history, class and tradition. And underneath that, as you can see, there's the Arsenal logo and the Real Madrid logo. He is saying class and tradition. So let's say that again, 29 combined Champions League and FA Cups. How the fuck are you going to combine Champions League and FA Cups between Arsenal and Real? Arsenal haven't won 1 Champions League and Real don't play in the FA Cup because they're not English. So this hands down winner, it may not be the most delusional, over the top, everything's absolutely amazing tweet ever, but just for sheer utter stupidity, this has to win. You're combining two competitions, one of which one of the teams can't play in and will never ever play in. The other one, Arsenal haven't ever won. So what the fuck is your point? On top of this, the cherry on this icing, no oil money. We're sponsored by the Emirates. We're sponsored by Fly Emirates, which is a derive from Emirates, which is... I don't even need to finish the sentence, do I? We all know about the Emirates. Yes, Fly Emirates is an airline, and it's no literal oil money generating company. However, it is funded by the original Emirates, which is oil money. So we do link to oil money and corruption and sport washing. And maybe we're hated by everyone because people like you are saying stupid shit like 29 combined Champions League and FA Cups. Motherfucker, Richie, you take the gold medal today. You are the ex-mutant of the day by far. I still can't get over it. Combined Champions League FA Cups, which you can't do between an Arsenal and a Real Madrid. It doesn't make any sense because they play in different fucking leagues in different frigging countries. Recipsa Lakita. The evidence speaks for itself. The evidence has spoken. Richie is the mutant of the day. Congratulations to him. He's got a weird little pink bear next to his name. The less said about that, the better. Pink bears for the win. Give that pink bear a gold medal and, give it a bit of porridge. I don't know, something like that. I'm going to have a bit of salmon. Gotta love me a bit of salmon. Salmon settings. I'll be back tomorrow, people, with some more of these delusional tweets and craziness. Cheers for tuning in. Like and subscribe. These people, honestly, they need to be seen to be believed, some of these tweets, don't they? Like, how these people can even conceive of stuff like this is kind of bizarre to me. But anyway, here we are. Just poking fun at them. There's no bullying here. We're just having a little laugh. And, hell, there's a lot to laugh at. And there's a lot of weirdos out there saying crazy shit like this. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the Leverkusen game. I will have a Leverkusen preview coming up later. So keep an eye out for that. I've just realised now I'm saying this will go out after the Leverkusen preview. So never mind. I'm sure you've already watched it. I need to understand my own schedule, don't I? Maybe I am a bit of a mutant on the side. It takes one to know one, as they say. And with that, I am out of here. I will see you next time, guys. Peace.